Oh, it's always a good day when a new gamepad arrives on my desk. This is the new Fantech WGP13S Shooter III. In the grand scheme of things, it should be the most accessible, meaning cheap, out of all the previous Fantech gamepads we've taken a look at on this channel. But that doesn't mean it's lacking on features. In fact, it's got two features that I wish its higher priced brothers had. Let's get it unboxed and tested. But before we continue with the video, let's keep the lights on here in the studio. This video was brought to you by Sneak Attack Design Lab. They're a clothing company that specializes in technical fashion, more commonly known as techwear, and you can see me in their clothes in most of my videos. I've been supporting their brand ever since I met them back in 2019, and now they're returning the favor. Head on over to the link in the description to get 10% off of your order from their site. Check their clothes out, you're bound to see something badass over there that'll look great on you. Thank you very much to Sneak Attack for this exclusive promo for my viewers. Now, back to the video. So the Fantech WGP13S Shooter III comes in a small, light black and red box that is uncharacteristically devoid of overstyling. As we can see here on the front, the gamepad is sleek and stealthy unlike its higher tier brothers. We can immediately see here some highlighted features. The dual mode connectivity, which is 2.4 GHz and wired. It's got a motion sensor, which means gyro sensors, timed macros, and hell yeah, it's got Hall effect joysticks and triggers. We love to see that. At the back here, there are more features listed down, but we'll be tackling all of these later, so let's get to unboxing it. Upon opening up the box, we can see that it's got an internal cardboard structure that protects everything from bumps during shipping. It's not as good as foam, but it keeps prices down. Also, it's biodegradable, so it's good. As we can see here, very bare bones inclusions of accessories, and we have the note from Fantech founder, FanDP, a quick start guide, and warranty information at the bottom. Alright, accessories first. We have a USB-A to USB-C charging and data cable, only USB 2.0, so don't expect this to do fast charging. And then we have the first feature that I wish came standard with Fantech products. We have a dual port strike speed dongle. As you can see here, it is a bit larger than the usual wireless 2.4 GHz dongle that comes with Fantech gamepads. But that's because this part comes off, and it's also a USB-C dongle. Remember, this is a dual-mode gamepad, meaning it only does 2.4 GHz wireless and wired use. There's no Bluetooth option. Usually, Bluetooth is reserved for use either with the PS4 or PS5 and mobile devices. Well, not anymore. You can just unplug the USB-C dongle from its USB-A adapter, plug it into your phone, and you've got a reliable 2.4 GHz strike speed connection. Then, if you want to use it with your console, you can just plug it back into the adapter and use the USB-A port. This will also come in handy when playing on laptops that have limited USB-A and USB-C ports. Just choose one that's available to you and you're good to go. Moving on to the gamepad, we can see that it comes in a wax bag and has these foam joystick protectors. You might want to keep these, for if you want to buy a carry case for the Shooter 3 in the future, you won't need to buy a new set of joystick protectors. And that's it for the box and accessories. Let's head on over to the product tour. As we can see, the Fantech WGP13S Shooter III is a simple, sleek, black gamepad that is of the standard Xbox layout. In terms of physical dimensions, it's functionally identical to the top-of-the-line WGP15ES Pro. Texture is the same too, grippy plastic at the front with textured grips at the bottom. It's pretty light as well. A quick check here shows that it's only 186 grams without the dongle. As we can see here at the right side, we have the usual ABXY cluster with a non-customizable Hall effect joystick. In the middle, we have an array of 5 buttons, a middle mode select button in the shape of Fantech's logo. This is also where you can turn the gamepad on and off. It's flanked by the select and start buttons, and at the bottom of it, we have the turbo and macro buttons. At the left side, we have the offset, non-customizable Hall effect joystick at the top and the non-customizable D-pad at the bottom. Do note that both the D-pad and the ABXY cluster use membrane switches, not mechanical ones, so they are a bit mushy. Moving on over to the top, we can see a big departure from the design established by the WGP15ES Pro. We have the much more standard Xbox-style shoulder buttons and triggers. The L1 and R1 use membrane switches, so they're mushy, unlike the mechanical ones on the EOS Pro. but the triggers are still Hall effect, so it's fine. They don't have depth switches though, so you're always going to have the maximum depth of throw. This is also where we can see the USB-C port for data and charging. Moving on to the back, we see a distinct lack of any extra macro buttons, and here at the bottom we don't see a headphone jack that is usually standard on Fantech gamepads. That's alright, I understand that this is a budget offering and it's fine to drop some features in the pursuit of a lower unit price. One last thing to note here is the lack of any RGB lighting or even any loud styling on the controller whatsoever. The most that we get are these lines near the grips, but they're so minimal. I absolutely love this. It adds a stealthy look to an already sleek looking gamepad. Now with all that out of the way, let's get it set up for use. So now I have the Fantech Shooter III connected to my PC and turned on. The Fantech logo button lights up with a blue hue when turned on. We're tackling 4 features of the Shooter 3 in this section, and I'm just going to run through them really fast because they are standard features for Fantech gamepads, and as such are functionally the same as the WGP15 and WGP14. First off is mode switching. The Shooter 3 is able to switch between X input, D input, and S input modes just by pressing and holding the home button. Use this image as a guide for mode switching. Next up we have turbo mode, which will repeat the button input once turned on. To activate it, we need to hold the turbo button and press the button we want repeated. Once done, we can just repeat that input to turn off the turbo feature for that button. Then we have macro mode. To start macro recording, we just have to press and hold the turbo button until the gamepad vibrates. Then we can record a macro with a maximum of 63 button inputs within a 5-minute window. After that, we can press the turbo button once to record the macro and double press the turbo button to execute the recorded macro. To clear the recorded macro, we just need to press and hold the turbo button again until the gamepad vibrates, and then press the turbo button again. And finally, to perform a factory reset on your Fantech Shooter 3, just press and hold the select button and the R3 button for 10 seconds until the gamepad vibrates and the light on the home button illuminates. Alright, I've toured you around the Fantech Shooter 3 and its features. It's time to game. For this round of testing, I'm going to shake things up a bit. Since a big feature of the Shooter 3 is its impressive 1000Hz polling rate, I found it prudent to test on games that will actually benefit from a higher polling rate. And as you can see here in our latency test, it is actually running at 1000Hz. So yeah, let's go. First game we have, of course, is the constant favorite Forza Horizon 5. The increased polling rate definitely made the cars feel more responsive and snappier. I do have to mention that I miss having tall sticks for this game. It's just my preferred way of play. But as it stands, there's definitely a perceivable adjustment to the response time of the car's handling in this game when using the Shooter 3 over my daily driver WGP15 Pro. Second game that we have is my current favorite, Fallout 76. I've been immersing myself into the post-war irradiated Appalachian landscape a lot through the ROG Ally, so using a controller to play it on PC isn't as alien of an experience I expected it to be. And as expected, the Shooter 3 performed admirably. Look, I'm not big into playing shooters with controllers since I usually have a mouse and keyboard, but I had no problem aiming at enemies nor traversing terrain with the Shooter 3 in this game. Again, I wish I had longer sticks or taller sticks, but I'll take what I have. Great job here, Fantech. So, what do we think about the Fantech Shooter 3? Man, I'm super impressed with this little gamepad. It costs just $25 or 1,299 pesos here in the Philippines, but it's got some killer features that other gamepads simply don't have. Not even its higher priced and more premium brothers, the WGP15 and WGP14 V2. That 1000Hz polling rate and multi-port receiver is no joke. It adds so much value to the gamepad that I was surprised it was priced so low. You do lose out on creature comforts like the customizable sticks and D-pad, macro buttons at the back, sure, but if you don't use any of those, this is a no-brainer. Also, I would like to request Fantech to somehow find a way to dock the receiver inside the controller. I mean, that's one of the most convenient features to add to a controller without actually jacking up the price too much. So yeah, if you're looking to upgrade to a better gamepad without disrupting your budget for bigger battle station editions in the future, I suggest you go for this. So that's the Fantech Shooter 3 wireless gamepad. Do you have any questions about it? Leave them down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. While you're there, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.